Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, a little bit of a different background today. I'm not in my usual studio, but that's fine. Look, I want to speak specifically in this video about the issue with endorsements, especially coming up to a federal election. I see an issue with endorsements that I think voters need to be aware of. So where this comes from, kind of the spark that ignited this was that there are rumors, of course, and pressure toward Pierre Poilievre that he will be on the Joe Rogan podcast at some point before April 28th. And of course, this could ignite and energize his base, but this could also cause problems for Pierre Poilievre in the future. And I'll get to that in a minute. So essentially, if Pierre Poilievre takes the invite and does in fact go on the Joe Rogan podcast, it would appear as an endorsement from Joe Rogan. And of course, Joe Rogan has essentially, or effectively maybe is a better word, endorsed Pierre Poilievre in the past. He's been vocal about his dislike toward Justin Trudeau, even throwing terms like he's a communist leader out and stuff like that. He's also accused him of his failure to provide freedom to Canadians. And of course, Joe Rogan has been vocal about advocating for Pierre Poilievre's desire to cut government spending and increase fiscal responsibility. But to say that Pierre Poilievre agrees with Joe Rogan on the front of Canadians' access to, let's say, handguns, that would be an inaccurate statement. And so to extract from this, the principle here is that we should not look at an endorsement and get the idea that the candidate being endorsed is the manifestation of all the beliefs of the endorser in aggregate. That is simply not the case. We need to take an endorsement with a grain of salt. So, for example, Pierre Poilievre has had endorsements from some other controversial figures, you could say Joe Rogan in the past, as well, Jordan Peterson, Lord Conrad Black, and perhaps most notoriously, Alex Jones. And what this does is it energizes some part of the voter base that's going to vote for Pierre Poilievre, but it also alienates would-be voters for the Conservative Party because they think these figures are too controversial. And of course, they might be right in some sense, but the point I'm trying to make here is that we need to look at endorsements with a little bit of nuance. And of course, I could flip this to the Liberal side as well. You could argue that, of course, Mark Carney has had some endorsements from Liberal members and Liberal-minded people. That is not to say that Mark Carney wholeheartedly agrees with all of the policy and ideas that have been implemented and administered by the Liberal Party over the last 10 years. So my challenge to you, I guess, in making this video is to look at endorsements and go further. Look at the actual policy, the party platform, and as well, the voter history, which can be found on government websites. You can see every single member of parliament, you can see what they voted for and against in their past. And that's a great resource to actually understand what this person is like. As Canadians going to the election, going to the polls, we need to be more interested in what will the members of parliament do in the House of Commons. We need to be more interested in that than who is applauding for the members of parliament. That is the way, if we get interested in what they will do in the House of Commons, that is how our vote will actually signify and send influence to the federal government, as opposed to just focusing on who advocates for, who supports the candidate. So that is my challenge to you. Look further than the endorsements, take them with a grain of salt, and that is how you can make your vote count all the more in this election. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everyone who watches and comments on this channel, and have an outstanding day, and take care.